Kevin Durant almost signs with the Boston Celtics. So the year is 2016, Harambe is going viral, Kanye drops The Life of Pablo, and in the NBA, the OKC Thunder just blew a 3-1 lead against the Golden State Warriors in the Western Conference Finals. And this isn't just any OKC Thunder, it's the Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook OKC Thunder. And on the other side, it's not just any Golden State Warriors, it's the Curry, Klay, Draymond, 73-9, greatest team of all time Golden State Warriors. So yeah, the Thunder blew a 3-1 lead, and Kevin Durant, he's a free agent. Before we get into it, let's remember who KD was at this point. 28 points per game, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, 50% from the field. A top 3 player in the world is available. And when KD blew the 3-1 lead with them, that was pretty much the writing on the wall for the Thunder. So that summer, 6 teams get a meeting with Durant. One of them being the Boston Celtics. And the Celtics at that point, they're solid. They just won 48 games. Isaiah Thomas is averaging 22-6. Jaylen Brown just got drafted. They got the Nets pick the next year, which ends up being Tatum. The foundation is there for the Celtics. And 2 days before the KD meeting, they signed Al Horford, who was an all-star. And they bring him to the meeting with KD like this guy was sitting in the back room, locked and ready to go. And Boston pulls up to the meeting with Danny Ainge and Tom Brady too. And when KD saw Tom Brady, he said himself he was ready to sign with the Celtics. The city had all their stars reaching for KD, but then KD signs with the Warriors. And one Celtic in particular was pissed, Jay Crowder. Crowder wondered how Durant could go join the Warriors after Boston, in a recruiting meeting with him, mapped out the game plan for how to beat them. It may have been irrational for Crowder to hold that against Durant, but he did. So yeah, KD goes to Curry after Jay Crowder told Durant how they're going to stop Curry together. And that's the Kevin Durant to Boston Celtics story, Durant's second choice. But next, we got Michael Jordan almost signs with the New York Knicks. So for this one, we got to go to 96. This is Jordan's first full year back after that fool left to go play baseball. The best basketball player in the world, and it isn't even close. 30 points a game, won MVP, the scoring title, led the Bulls to 72 wins, the best record ever at the time. And this was peak MJ at this point, and he was a free agent also. Jordan signed his contract back in 1988, and by 1996, he was making like $3 million a year. Role players were making more than that. This guy was selling out every arena in that country, making the NBA billions, and getting paid like a backup center. So his agent, David Falk, this guy, he said,
"Tell him to bring me my money."
Yeah! And the Knicks saw their opportunity, but remember, this is the Knicks-Bulls rivalry. Ewing versus MJ at this point. They had Ewing, Houston, Oakley. They were kind of stacked. And they offered MJ everything. All the cap space in the world, all the promotional deals in the world, the NY market. And on top of that, Jordan was born in New York. He said multiple times Madison Square Garden was his favorite arena. He acknowledged himself, if Chicago mishandled this, New York was a real possibility. And Patrick Ewing wanted that. Granted, I want MJ on my rec league team, but we all can't get what we want, Pat. But here's the issue for the Knicks. Chicago had Jordan's bird rights, meaning no matter what New York offered, the Bulls can always go higher. And Falk knew that. He used this the whole time as a gun to Jerry Reisendorf's head. Like, pay him or he's going to New York. And it worked, because Chicago ended up signing Jordan to a $30 million deal for one season. The biggest single season contract in American sports history at the time. More than the entire payroll of some NBA teams. And the Knicks, unfortunately, blue-balled for Michael Jordan in 1996. Shout out Jalen Brunson though. Real quick, if you want Michael Jordan on your team, you should sub. Thanks. Anyways, next one. Carmelo Anthony almost signs with the Chicago Bulls. I didn't even realize this till now. This is the anti-MJ. A Knick almost signing with the Bulls. Damn. But here we gotta go to 2014. The Bulls are stacked. Derrick Rose, Joakim Noah, Luol Deng, Carlos Boozer. And there's a free agent averaging 27 points a game, led the NBA minutes, 7 straight All-Star appearances. And the Knicks, just went 37-45, missed the playoffs. So Melo opts out of his contract, and actually, out in Chicago that year, the Bulls just get 48 wins without Derrick Rose. He misses basically the entire season, and that's because Joakim Noah won Defensive Player of the Year. He finished 4th in MVP voting. Jimmy Butler's becoming Jimmy Butler. Tibbs is coaching at a crazy level. So Melo flies to Chicago, goes to the United Center for a meeting, and the whole team is there. Rose, Noah, Taj Gibson, everyone's there. And really, he did narrow it down to 2 options. Carmelo Anthony has narrowed his options to the New York Knicks and Chicago Bulls and is no longer considering the Los Angeles Lakers. And the Bulls, they offered Carmelo Anthony $96 million, which is good, but when you have your home team offering you 5 years, $124 million, it's a little different. So your options are $96 million to play for a contender, or $28 more million to stay where you are on your hometown team. And of course, Melo picked the right side, because he wouldn't be in this video if he didn't. But imagine that Bulls team though: Rose, Butler, Deng, Carmelo, Noah, that starting 5 with Thibodeau's coaching defense, they might actually challenge LeBron in the East. But for the next one, let's go a little further back. Tim Duncan, Orlando Magic. Of the 4 we talked about so far, this is probably the closest one to happening. So the year is 2000, the world just ends because Y2K. Duncan is 24 years old, already has a championship, a finals MVP. This guy's averaging 23 and 12. You can make a legit case he's the best player on the planet. And now, he's a free agent. Because back then, rookie contracts were only 3 years, so any team with cap space could just sign him. And Orlando, they had a plan. They cleared out their whole roster after Shaq and Penny fell apart, saved all their cap space, and we're going after Tim Duncan, Grant Hill, and Tracy McGrady all at the same time. Grant Hill at this point, 25 points per game, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, a 7-time All-Star, one of the best players in the league. T-Mac is 21, already showing he's going to be special. So Orlando puts this whole thing together, attempting to build one of the best trios ever. And Duncan, he actually visits Orlando, and Doc Rivers, who's the coach of the Magic, said after the meeting, Duncan told Doc he was coming to Orlando. This was done. And the Celtics had Tom Brady at the KD meeting. The Magic had Tiger Woods house hunting with Tim Duncan. But, want to know why it didn't happen? Well, someone from Duncan's camp asked, "Hey, can my family members travel on the team plane sometimes?" And Doc Rivers said, "Nope." And Grant Hill said the whole energy in the room changed immediately because Duncan was extremely close with his family and the Spurs already let them travel. So that one answer, that one no, it saved the Spurs a dynasty. Then the Spurs win 4 more rings, all because Doc Rivers wouldn't let Tim Duncan's dad fly in the Magic plane. Then the Magic end up with the starting lineup the next season of Darrell Armstrong, Ben Wallace, Bo Outlaw, John Amici, Tariq Abdul-Wahid. So yeah, awful outing here if you're an Orlando fan. But after that, let's get a little more recent. Klay Thompson and the Los Angeles Lakers, 2024. So Klay in 2024, he got 4 rings, 5 All-Stars. In my opinion, the second greatest shooter of all time. But his last season in Golden State, it was brutal, man. They moved him to the bench. They left him out of closing lineups. The fit just wasn't really there anymore. That was it. 13 years as a Warrior, just over. So now Klay's a free agent for the first time in his career. And it comes down to 2 teams, Dallas and the Lakers. And the Lakers made all the sense in the world. Klay, he's born and raised in California. His dad won 2 rings with the Lakers. His dad literally worked as the radio broadcast guy. And Klay grew up a Laker fan. So when free agency opened, LeBron called Klay, said he would take less money if Klay came to LA. And then the offers come out. The Lakers offer Klay 4 years, $80 million. The Mavs offer him 3 years, $50 million. And Klay picks option B, when he could have had 30 more mil playing with LeBron and AD. Klay's dad literally came out and said he was disappointed he didn't pick the Lakers. Now, why did he pick the Mavs? Dallas just went to the finals. Luka and Kyrie are running that offense, and Klay would be open every single possession. Catch and shoot all night. Which, fair enough, but that didn't work out. Because the Lakers, they couldn't get Klay, so they just got Luka instead. But for a few days in July 2024, Klay Thompson was genuinely about to be a Laker. LeBron recruited him, his family ties were there, the money was there, and he picked Dallas. Tough scene. But after that, let's talk about a famous one. LeBron James almost picks the New York Knicks. So we all know the decision in 2010. Me and LeBron go on TV and say we're taking our talents to South Beach. Nobody can forget that. It literally has a name, The Decision. And it made sense. LeBron that year was averaging 29 points, 8 assists, 7 rebounds. He won his second straight MVP. He led the Cavs to 61 wins that year, the best record in the NBA. And he's 25 years old, the best player on the planet, and he was available. And the Knicks didn't randomly just pop up. They've been planning for this moment since 2008, trading away Zach Randolph, Jamal Crawford, Quentin Richardson, clearing out everybody. That was their entire franchise strategy for 2 years, LeBron James. And reports came out later saying New York was actually LeBron's first choice going into free agency. And it made sense. Madison Square Garden was his favorite road arena. The market, the brand, it all made sense. So the Knicks get their meeting July 1st. They fly to Cleveland. And they bring a whole video with the Sopranos and Goodfellas cast pitching for LeBron. And the pitch was to come to New York and play with Amari Stoudemire. And then the report said, too many celebrities, not enough basketball. Basically, the meeting was a disaster. They just gave LeBron no idea of an NBA championship path at all. And then July 8th, the decision happened. I'm going to take my talents to South Beach. And Knicks fans had to watch. The team they cleared cap space for 2 years goes to Miami. I'm sorry, Knicks fans. But that reminds me, this video is presented by PrizePicks, America's #1 sports pick app. And I actually got a pick that I'm rolling with right now. With the Knicks now in the Eastern Conference Finals, I took OG Anunoby to win Eastern Conference Finals MVP. I put $25 on it for a chance to win $417. That's a 16.66 times payout. And honestly, this isn't just random. OG Anunoby has been one of the Knicks' most important players all season. If the Knicks win this series, there's a real chance the voters reward his two-way impact. And that's why I like this spot on PrizePicks. It's simple. You just pick more or less on player stats or even team outcomes, lock in your lineup, and you're set. I'll be posting more of my lineups there too. So if you want to tell what I'm doing, make sure to follow me on the app so you don't miss anything. And if you've never tried it before, now's the best time. New users can play $5 and get $50 in lineups instantly when you use code HMA. So download PrizePicks using the link in my description, use code HMA, and let's see if this OG Anunoby pick hits. And as always, play responsibly. Okay, back to the video. For the next one, we might have the most famous one of the entire video. DeAndre Jordan almost signs with the Mavericks in 2015. Because this one is an entire event. DeAndre Jordan at this point in 2015, this dude is elite. He led the entire NBA in rebounds, 15 a game. He shot 71% from the field. First team all defense, all NBA player. This dude was elite. Okay, quick side note, I'm researching for this right now. DeAndre Jordan in high school averaged 4 blocks per game as a sophomore, 7 as a junior, 8.1 as a senior. That is the most absurd thing I've ever seen. Yes, it's an average use Messi season, but it's still crazy. But back to 2015. Because DeAndre Jordan was basically telling the Mavs he's signing there. Mark Cuban was even out there calling DeAndre Jordan Shaq-like. But yeah, Dallas was all in. Dirk was recruiting him. Chandler Parsons, Rick Carlisle, Mark Cuban. And then, because DeAndre Jordan was a huge Cowboys fan, they got Jerry Jones and Des Bryant to send him videos. And it worked, because on July 3rd, Jordan verbally agreed 4 years, $80 million. And Dallas immediately starts rebuilding their whole roster around him. They let Tyson Chandler walk. They let Monte Ellis walk. They're restructuring everything. But then Jordan starts having second thoughts, and the Clippers found out. The Clippers panicked, so what did they do? Doc Rivers, Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, JJ Redick, Paul Pierce, they all get on a plane, fly to Houston, go to DeAndre Jordan's house, and just stay there. They literally planted themselves in his house, and the internet went crazy because this guy was basically being held hostage. And on the other side, Mark Cuban, he's driving around Houston trying to find Jordan's house, and that's not a joke either. And Jordan, he stopped responding to Dallas entirely. So yeah, Mark Cuban is driving around Texas trying to find DeAndre Jordan, and DeAndre Jordan shot clocks his decision and stays with the Clippers. He resigns for 4 years, $88 million, and Dallas wakes up the next morning with no center, no Tyson Chandler, no DeAndre Jordan. So who do the Mavs sign to save them the next season? Zaza Pachulia. So that's the entire DeAndre Jordan saga. Ended with Zaza Pachulia. But next one. This one is LaMarcus Aldridge almost signs with the Phoenix Suns. So Aldridge at this time, 2015, complete dog. 23 points per game, 10 rebounds, second team All-NBA. He's the best free agent on the market in 2015. And everyone kind of assumed it was going to be the Spurs or Blazers. But the Suns, they had a vision. So they locked in. Before their meeting with Aldridge, they went out and signed Tyson Chandler, who the Mavericks let go. 4 years, $52 million. And then following that, Woj literally reported that the Suns walked into the meeting armed with Tyson Chandler. Like he was a weapon. Gold Tyson Chandler. And it worked, because Aldridge said after that meeting, Phoenix was the top of his list. And the Suns, they kept going. They traded Marcus Morris and others to Detroit just to clear more cap space. They re-signed Brandon Knight for 5 years, $70 million. They were building this whole thing in real time. Bledsoe, Knight, Aldridge, Chandler. And oh yeah, Phoenix just drafted Devin Booker. Imagine that timeline. But then, Greg Popovich happened. Greg Popovich personally met with Aldridge for lunch, a second meeting, just the two of them. And whatever Pop said at that lunch changed everything. Because on July 4th, Aldridge chose San Antonio. So yeah, the Suns actually did everything right. They almost had their twin towers of LaMarcus Aldridge and Tyson Chandler. But Greg Popovich took Aldridge to lunch. That Chipotle hit. Because whatever magic he did, it worked. And Aldridge was a Spur. But for the next one, let's actually go to a two-player situation. Durant and Kyrie almost signed with the Knicks. Sorry, Knicks fans, this is your third appearance in this video. But you know what? You guys should be happy none of this worked out. You guys are great now. But anyway, Durant and Kyrie, everyone remembers this one. 2019, the biggest NBA free agency ever. Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving were both free agents. Everybody knew they were going to the same place. It was just where. And the Knicks had cap space for both of them. Everyone thought this team was getting KD, Kyrie, and Zion. Then free agency opens, and there it was. Woj tweets it. Brooklyn is making a clean sweep tonight. Brooklyn will sign Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and DeAndre Jordan. 4:56 p.m. The Nets get both the guys Knicks fans thought they were getting, plus DeAndre Jordan. Then, 7:35 p.m., less than 3 hours later, the Knicks signed Julius Randle. And everyone's making fun of the Knicks because their whole plan didn't work out. But somehow, in the long run, signing Randle instead of KD and Kyrie worked out better for the Knicks. So don't be upset about that, Knicks fans, even though I'm sure most of them are not. But after that one, let's talk about a player that almost left the Nets. And this is when Jason Kidd almost signed with the San Antonio Spurs. So the year is 2000, the Spurs just beat the Nets in the finals, and Kidd that year averaged 18 points, 9 assists, 6 rebounds, 2 steals, first team All-NBA, and he finished second in MVP voting. He just single-handedly took the Nets to back-to-back finals, and now he's a free agent. So the Spurs, who just won the championship, they come after him. And at this point, Tony Parker is only 21 years old, and Popovich looked at Parker, then looked at Kidd, and said, we want Kidd. And their whole plan was Kidd and Duncan, and then Duncan personally recruits him, which Duncan never does that. And the Spurs don't do flashy free agency stuff, but they wanted Kidd that bad. So Kidd flies to San Antonio, meets with Tim and Pop, and then says yes. He told the Spurs he was coming. He verbally committed, done deal. But then for some reason on the flight home, Kid gets cold feet, and he called the Spurs and said he's staying with the Nets. And Kid later said that when the Nets went out and got Alonzo Mourning, that showed him they were still trying to compete. And that's what helped convince him to stay. So yeah, Jason Kidd and Tim Duncan, low-key could have been the best duo ever, and was insanely close to happening, but just never did. But after that, let's jump up 11 years. Chris Bosh almost signing with the Houston Rockets. If you watch basketball in 2014, this one pretty much felt as done as done could be. ESPN literally posted, Rockets expect to sign Chris Bosh. The Rockets themselves thought this was done. So this was 2014, the Heat just lost to the Spurs in the finals, and then LeBron opts out, Wade opts out, Bosh opts out. The whole big three, just a try opt out. And Houston sees this and immediately calls Bosh. Now the Rockets at this point, they already have Harden and Dwight Howard, and Daryl Morey is looking for a third star. And Bosh makes perfect sense. Harden running the pick and roll, Dwight eating inside, Bosh spacing the floor from outside. So Houston goes all in. They trade Jeremy Lin, they move Omer Asik, they clear max space, and then they let Chandler Parsons walk. 3 years, 46 mil they chose not to match, because they were so sure Bosh was coming. That's how confident they were. Then LeBron announces he's going back to Cleveland, and Bosh, he's considering being the next guy gone. The Rockets offer Bosh 4 years, 88 mil, and at this point, they're just waiting him to put the pen on the paper. They were sure it was done. Except, Pat Riley walks in the room and offers Bosh everything. 5 years, 118 million, making Bosh the face of the franchise with LeBron gone, giving him everything he wanted. And Bosh, he had a pick between the LeBron-less Heat or Harden and Dwight in Houston. And after everyone thinking he's a Rocket, he just stays with the Heat. And just like that, Houston is sitting there with no Bosh, no Parsons, no Lin, no Asik. They gave up everybody just for a guy who never came. Just awful. But if you guys enjoyed this, I would genuinely appreciate if you could subscribe. It's the only thing that truly lets me know you guys want me to keep posting on here. Thank you for watching.